Hello all. I've been asked a lot by a good group of people, how do I get into modding FIFA? I just don't understand how it all works. Well, today I'm going to give you a quick introduction on how it all works and how you get started. I will try and show as much as I can of where everything is and how to import into FIFA, how to get it running, how to export into an FB mod, and how to just create your own little mods, And it's definitely something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's just been so busy with my own work. It's just crazy, really, what's going on at the moment. So, what you need to do is go to frostytoolsuite.com, click on downloads, download the editor. All is good. So that should be in your downloads folder. Okay. So I've opened up the RAR that's come down. Now, guys, I highly recommend you move away from WinRAR and use 7-zip instead. It's free. It has no annoying, pop-up saying you need to register all the time. It's just, simple and free. Right. So after you've done that, you can then extract it somewhere. Now, I've got many drives, as you can see there. It's just the nature of my work, as that happens when you're a developer. You have thousands of drives, a couple for gaming, a couple of pieces of work you do over the time. For now, I'm going to use my FIFA modding folder and extract this into here. I highly recommend you create a new folder. I call it Frosty Mod Manager, but in my case, because I'm showing off here, I just call it Test for video. And just for good measure, actually, I might leave no spaces. Now, Frosty, it's not even a mod manager, just the editor. Frosty is temperamental about where it goes and its file positions and file names and stuff like that. So I highly recommend you sort of keep it simple with it. So in here, I'm extracting from here to here. Happy days. Next, we run Frosty Editor. And this is going to come up with, hang on, I got nothing. Click New, find your game. Now my game is in E drive. Most of you will have in C program files, Origin games, something like that, like Origin games there, and it'll be there. If you just install it to a normal folder, mine is in here. And then double click your exe or click exe and open. And then you're going to get, where's your encryption key? And you go, oh, I have no idea what that is. Well, thank God I can help you out there. So cancel this for a second. He'll just quit out. Go to keys.zip. I'll put all these in the description. You download the keys. Here we go. Key files. You extract that into your Frosty Editor folder. So as you can see, that is sitting next to your Frosty Editor. Run Frosty Editor again. Select FIFA 20. Look at that, it's working. Now this is going to take some time, so I'm going to stop recording for a second and wait until it's finished. Okay. After a long wait, it sort of processes your whole FIFA, and it does take a long time. It can take anywhere up to 10, 20 minutes in some people's cases, so be patient. It will get there, and eventually you'll come to this screen. And you think, oh God, it's not working. But it is. Origin. As it's telling you here, please open FIFA. Fair enough. Let's do it. Now, I don't know what point you're going to get to, but I haven't been working on reverse engineering recently. I think the best point will be get to your main menu. So let's get there. Right, you're there. Now, if you're like me, you're in full screen. So I click the Windows key, click on there, click next. Hey, off it goes. Right, after another wait, it got there eventually. Finish. Now, you can close your FIFA. What that does is, right, it's literally just close Frosty. I don't know why they built it like that. It's a bit odd. So to relaunch Frosty again, go back to your folder. And don't worry, second time in loading, it's a lot quicker. And then welcome to Frosty, and it's one heck of a system. And I've got to give it to the guys behind Frosty Toolsuite. This is some excellent work. I know me and Galaxy Man don't seem to get along. I don't know why. Seems like we just don't click. But I still, knock my hat to him and say, well done, mate. This is quality stuff. So for this little tutorial, let's change. I don't know, splash screen. Sounds like a good idea. So, as you can see, things are divided into folders. And you've got everything from things you'd never touch in your million years. So this sort of stuff, this is stuff you will never touch. Animations, again, it's not something you could really mess with, so leave it alone. Broadcasting, we could look into it. It's something, basically all the cameras in the game are in here. And you can, as soon as you click on a folder, you get the contents of the folder, very much like like Windows Explorer. Let's expand this. And you've got all these cameras by different IDs. Now, I actually don't know the camera IDs or what they correlate to. So one of them would be like broadcast, one of them would be co-op, etc. And that's why you've seen people build these sort of different camera mods. They can make a really good looking game, I've seen mods. They make it look more like Football Manager, so I'm not sure about that. But anyway, so there's your cameras if you want to go mess around with that. So in this tutorial, we're going to do something very simple, which is change the splash screen, which is that initial screen before Hazard appears on your screen. So, which is good about this, you could do a good filter, which is up there, splash screen, and it will literally just filter it all for you, and you see this. Now, double click it, and there you get it, a splash screen. For the purposes of this tutorial, I will show you something I've created before for my mod. So you click import. Now, import is expecting a PNG, TGA, HDR, or DDS. Most people stick with the PNG or DDS. If you don't know about this, then we're going to have issues. But it's all good. And it's expecting a file of the size 1920 by 1080. Now, that's standard HD, full HD resolution you see on your TV and things. So basically what they've done is make an image that's designed for TVs and easily scalable down to HD ready and all the way up to 2K, 4K and all the rest of it. So I have got a file somewhere I can import. It's an old one, I think, for me. There you go. So I've overwritten that image. And that's not my new image, that's my old image. But let's do it again. So you can overwrite this as many times as you like. It doesn't matter. I got this one here. I'll show these off later. I got this. My main man meet you. He's cool, man. Right. Save your project. I can't stress this enough. How much you have to save within Frosty. If Frosty errors in any way, it will close down Frosty. Even if it's a simple thing like the file you're trying to load is being used by another process, it will close Frosty down and you lose all your changes. So every single time you import something or change something, click that button there. For this purpose, because I've clicked that and it's a new project, it wants to save it somewhere. For this, just cost it a test project. Right, you've made your first mod. You can now launch the game. Click launch. Come on, FIFA. You can do it. There we go. Look at it. It's great. There you go. First mod made. I'll just quit out. So, what else can you do? I will now go through as much as I can explaining where things are. Content. In content, you have kits is probably the biggest one that most people will mess around with. You got your balls as well, the balls, kits, people's faces and heads, badges, everything graphical. I'm going to say 3D graphical is in content character. You could change the kit, and you go, oh god, look at all this, and it's a load of IDs basically. So you can find these IDs if you just search around. I don't know, FIFER, something like that. So if you go FIFER, teams. Yeah, look, everyone's looking at Wolves after their game against Liverpool. Yeah, Wolves are team 110. 110. So, in here, it'll be kit 0, I assume, because it's kit 0 to up to 1,000. So, scroll down. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Open it up, and you get all this wonderfulness. Now, Wolves are special. They've got these extra ones as well. For different locales, I think. let's go for the standard ones, the ones I see, because I'm in the UK. So color is your standard color looking thing. So there we are. That's wolves. You could, if you want to change this, feel free to export to wherever you want. Now, if I would highly suggest you do some structuring. I follow the folder structure of Frosty, so I know exactly where things go. Save it. It's right there. I am not able to get Photoshop, so I am stuck with GNU Image Manipulation Program, and it's shortened to GIMP. Can you believe? But there we go. GIMP is starting. And there you go. You can edit as much as you like. I'm going to just draw something silly on it, I think. Hi. Look at my fancy artwork. Overwrite. Now you're back in here. Click import. Of course, it's gone all the way back. And then you've got your overwritten one here. Importing. Hey, look at it go. No, remember what I said? Save. Launch. Right. Once it's made to the main menu, kick off. Go away. Classic. Let's find wolves. Look at that. My artwork has appeared. Isn't it amazing? I should draw a smiley face or something really rude, like a penis. That would have been good. Anyway, so there we go. You created your own kit. Now, there are kit templates out there. Arethiel has made one. I highly recommend you search him up. He has done an amazing tutorial on kit generator, and I think that would probably be best if you want to create your own kits and make your own fancy designs, like fantasy kits. A lot of people like to do, and I've seen some amazing ones. So definitely give it a go. Okay, we're back to Frosty. What next? Well, in fairness, there's not much else in this area. And you think, where's everything else? Well, you have to go up here, Legacy Explorer, and you click. There we go. Now this is the old-fashioned FIFA format, pre-Frostbite. So back in the good old days when we could just edit stuff in the file system, this is almost like a copy and paste. Almost like EA decided to just, because they needed to be in Frostbite, they just crowbarred it into the system in any shape or form. And this is the result of that. And after 4 years, it's still all there, and it still haven't moved away from it. And I just find it insane that the development is so behind the times and hasn't got up to date. But anyway, that's enough of me moaning. So if you wanted to edit the database, so this is the core database of the game. So this would have been the original database that would have come with the game when it was shipped. So after that, they ship squad files, which basically it doesn't update the database. It's almost like a copy of the database but changed. And some modders like to edit the database internally and say to people when they start a career mode or something, just reset your squad files, use default, and you will use my mod. So you're more than welcome to do that. You need you can't use RDBM for that. You need to use DB Master, which is around. I might upload it to the FIFA mods website because it is difficult to find. I find so maybe I shall do that for you, and I'll do that after this video has been completed. Let's scroll down. Team management. See this file here? This is where the game AI selects its teams for tournaments and your career mode. So this is the file that EA, for some reason, can't understand themselves. And in fact, on occasion, it stumps a lot of other people too. If you want to make changes to this, cool. Let's show you. What you'll have to do is right-click this down here. So you notice we haven't got an import, export up here. We have to right-click it down here, export, save, go to your folder. Now, I've got Notepad++, highly, highly recommended compared to Windows default Notepad. It has some IntelliSense, which basically IntelliSense is something that it auto-completes where you're trying to type. It has some syntax highlighting. As you can see here, so it's understanding this is an INI file. An INI file is working this way. You've got your header settings, your setting variable, should we say? So your variable, and you've got your value. It's as simple as that. In my world, they call them dictionary within a dictionary. It's a messy file type that people don't tend to use anymore. It's quite old and outdated, but EA persist with the old style. What you can do with this file? Well, most people would ignore, say, this area here and this area here, and just focus on this area here. I'll explain this very, very quickly for the purpose of this tutorial. So you got the OVR of the person to the position, and that's the bias then. So if you look on FIFER, you click on Gianmartino. Right, there's a matrix in that database I showed earlier, which you can change, that calculates how good a player is in certain positions, or what attributes make you, better in certain positions. So as you can see, Gianmartino is very much across the middle. So you get that times that makes the decision whether the player will be in that position on the team. Now, if you screw that up, you could have Gianmartino in goal. So you've got to be careful. So you've got things like form, which is in career mode, fitness, career mode, tournament mode. I don't know why this is here. I'd assume if they got a knock, whether it decides to play him or not, but I don't understand why it's got a bias. Maybe if it's got a knock, it must be minus or something. Again, for international bias, if they got a call up, you can't play him anyway. So it's strange. It's there game suspension. It can't play them. So why have the biases here? So you'd say leave these three alone. And you've got match importance. Another thing EA keeps screwing up is match importance. So basically, it doesn't understand a cup game, like an FA Cup game, and the difference between that and a Champions League final. It can't decide between them, and I will show that in a different video. So basically, if you wanted the AI just to pick the best team no matter what, you set that to 1, set that to 1, set that to 1, and just go mad with this one. And then it will always pick the best team. And this is pretty much when I built the first patches back in FIFA 18, maybe 17, 18. I literally just did this, and people were mostly happy with it because at the end of the day, it picks the best team, and that's what people want. Okay, back to Frosty. If you want to, you've made that change. So if you want to import it now, right-click, import, find your file. Make sure you're importing the file that you've exported back in. So the best way to know is this file here. You know you imported the right file back in. If you don't, it crashes the game. So make sure you get a hang of that. I would know myself that I've made a lot of mistakes doing that. Right, if you're a career modder like myself, you're thinking, where the heck are all the career files? Well, it's under DLC. I know. Obviously, EA must have had an idea about making career mode and things DLC. Strange they didn't follow through with that. Go through the file system. Get data. Here we go. Lots and lots of fun to be had in here. You've got, again, Manager AI. Now, I highly recommend, if you're going to change your Manager AI, change that one and that one. Don't ask me why, but if you don't change the two of them, it doesn't work. So, it must be EA's wonderful coding at play there. Now, I'm not going to explain all of these, but some of them are not even used anymore, so I wouldn't bother your time with it. So, that's not used, 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 that isn't used. That's injuries. I don't know why it's under fitness. It's actually all the injuries in the game, how much they occur, and how long they take. I think they really could have gone to town on this and made it a lot better, but for some reason it isn't. Form settings. This is how you can make players informed depending on their ratings. For some reason, EA think that a user should take longer than a CPU. In my mod, I'm going to openly say this. I literally just copy and paste that to there, and literally have 5 exactly the same as that, and delete the rest. That will work. Don't worry about that. And I think that's a fair system for both you and the CPU. So, what else we got here? You're thinking, oh, this is fancy. GPU tuning monitor. Well, it's not that great. It's quite an old system. It's been there since FIFA 14. So you've got when they're captain, do they get an increase in ability? As you can see here, a captain gets an ability increase of 2. So that's 2 times another value, which I'll explain later. So it could be quite powerful, this, and really affect your team. Obviously, this is now old, these ones here. That's from the old press conference stuff, not the new one. So the only ones you have to worry about is the captain, form, and away modifiers. GTN data reveal. Now this will look like an absolute mess, right? So any CSVs you see, I highly suggest you export it. Open it up. I've got OpenOffice, and even Microsoft Office will deal with these, no problem at all. Don't worry about anything like that because it understands how to deal with it on its own. So ignore it. And in here, you could change things like how long it takes to reveal the stats for a player. I know certain people have made no fog of war mods. So basically, what fog of war basically where you can't see the attributes of a player. So you go in here, change famous player min overall, change that to 0, and then no matter what, every single player in career mode will have the stats fully shown, and you don't have to scout them anymore. it's quite a useful little tool if you like basically cheating. But I'm at the point where the attributes thing is a bit weird, and they really need to move on to a system like Football Manager where you get a sort of text explanation of how good they are in certain positions or certain areas. I think that'd be a lot better for the game. A lot of people have a lot of complaints about player growth. Here's the file that drives everyone mad. So, it says it has 7 curves, and it has all these different comments and explanations that make. I gotta admit, whoever wrote this needs to relook at it, and so it makes sense to a lot more people. Because for a start, he can't spell, and it looks very rushed in his explanation. Personally, as I don't like overgrowth at all, and overgrowth, just so you know, is when a player has reached their potential but grows more than the potential. FIFA has suffered with it for years, and I don't know why they sort of want to keep that in the game. It seems ultra unrealistic, and I'd remove it immediately. To do that, there's multiple options, and the first one is setting this to 1. You've got lots of things here. So, ignoring all this stuff, I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory, I think. Curve 1 is goalkeepers. How do I know that? Positions, position 0. That is goalkeeper. How do I know that? There's a list up here of all the positions in the game. Now, this list and these numbers are used a lot throughout the system, so you get to a point where you actually remember them off by heart. You've got curve 1, curve 2, which is all fullbacks, and someone's commented there. That's the centre backs, defensive midfielders, wingers. I think there's sort of like left midfielder, right midfielder, and the wingers. Forwards. And you might get confused by all of this. My suggestion is set these to 0 for everything, and in Notepad++, you could do a Control H, find something. Look, you can see I've done it there, and find and replace all these 1s to 0s, so you never get overgrowth ever again. So the below ratios is up to you. Some people like faster growth, some people like slower growth. I'm more of the opinion of having slower growth, and sort of letting it gradually get up to that point where it's prime. Do what you like with it, I guess. If you feel fit and you want to change it, then go on ahead. And we get down to the famous brand new feature, potential change. So basically, that's that dynamic potential that they keep banging on about. And in fairness, it's so broken you wouldn't believe. Ignoring all of this, basically, each season it grabs this and this and this. How many goals you scored, assists you scored, and clean sheets the goalkeeper has, I guess, and multiplies it by these. So League One, I could modify 1 is Premier League, Bundesliga, Real Madrid, Spanish League, that sort of stuff. And 2 is French League, I think. And then 3 is like the English Championship and League One and things like that. So yeah, so you've got a lot of multipliers there. I set them all to 1, definitely, because I don't see why they should get an improvement over them. Seems incredible. And the big problem with this is, as it's done per season, it forgets what happened last season. So if someone has gained the score of 90 and has a potential of 85, they could get a score up here and get, say, 3 or 4, and maybe higher, because if they are low OVR and high potential, the difference, see this diff here, could be a lot higher. So imagine the difference is 13 out, and as some youth players, like I think there's a player for Arsenal, Saka, I think, is quite a big difference between his OVR and potential. So that is incredible. They could gain an extra 7 potential. So let's put this right? They got 85, say, and they go up to 92 in one season potential. Next season comes along, you play them a few times, that could jump to 99. And now I bet you've seen loads of videos online, loads of images, loads of plaints with this, and EA have not changed it. They have not fixed it, and I just think it's insane. And the other thing that EA need to do is do something that checks what they had last year. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they need to do it. But hopefully by FIFA 21, and I hope they're watching this, because I'm here to help. Another thing people are complaining about is player values. Right, so you've got a modifier. Take this base value, times it by this. Now this is 100, so 100% plus 46%. As an example, I will take this value here, go into calculator, 10 million, and say the age of the person is 27. So you got a 10 1.4. Now what am I saying here? Well, basically you times it by 140%. So that 40 is actually 140. Are you with me? Basically that's 0 is 100%, and then you got above. Anything minus is below. So that there would be equal to 14 million. He's going up. And then you've got times by the potential. Say the guy has a potential of 6 or 5. Here we go. So we've got times 1.35. He's going up. Now, EA, thank you so much for doing this, but you've broken the contract one. Makes no difference to the value whatsoever. That includes the form. Don't work. Morale, don't work. This is still here. Don't know why. And you've got club prestige as well. So if you don't know what club prestige is, look in the database for RDBM and search prestige, and you'll get the team's prestige. I think United and Man City and Liverpool are all 10 or 9. So if they have a value of 10, you'll get 18. If it has 7 or above, you'll get 16. So let's do a 7 or above for this one. So 1.16. There you go. He's 21 million. Now, we don't know the position of the player yet. So say the player is a midfielder. It's a last and final one. 1.12. And that's the final value of the player. And that's what you get in the base of the game before any changes happen to him and he grows or whatever. So there you go. You can fiddle with this for hours and hours and hours trying to find the best calculation for all players, but you will never get there. There will always be someone who is slightly out. I try to match transfer market. I think it's the best option. So I basically I leveled everything out, and then went back up here and took players like Salah, Van Dijk, etc. Found them on FIFA. So I searched for Van Dijk. Helps if I could spell Van. who is rated 90. Brilliant. There you go. So Van Dijk at default, with all the others turned to 0, would be worth 52 million. So that's a good value. And you can feel free to change it as much as you like. And I think I'll close it here. As I said, I'm scratching the surface. You can play with this as much as you like, and make your own mods and become as popular as a certain other modder has without much effort. It's incredible what you can do, and I'm shocked at there's not more people doing what we do. It does take time. A lot of launching a game and testing something works and coming back out, especially with transfers, which I haven't tested, I haven't shown you here. So give it a go, fiddle about, see what you can do. So final thing, obviously we're all in the editor here, and you're thinking, how can I mix this with other mods? Quite simple, really. File, export the mod, give it a good name. Great stuff. Save. Mod manager. This is mine. Import. Find your FP mod you've just made. Apply it. There it is. And all you have to do then is launch, and you've got your mod up and running. I hope that helps. I will make another video explaining the rest of career mode. I'll even go down to the level of explaining finances, transfers, press conferences, objectives. I'll go down on this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will carry on again soon.